I drove that highway alone at 1 in the morning, and somewhere between mile markers 9 and 10, something stepped into my headlights that I have spent 2 long years trying and failing to explain away. There's a stretch of highway in eastern New Mexico where the locals don't drive after midnight. I know that now. I didn't know it then, and I wish more than almost anything in my life that someone had told me before I made that drive. Because there's a version of me that doesn't know what I know now. That version sleeps fine. That version doesn't check the rearview mirror in empty parking lots, or feel his stomach drop every time he hears a coyote howl on television. I was driving from Albuquerque to Amarillo. Late start, long road, nothing but flat, dark land and cold desert stars in every direction. The plan was simple: drive through the night, hit Amarillo by sunrise, sleep at my cousin's place. I'd done overnight drives before. I wasn't worried. Around 1 a.m., the radio signal guttered out and died. I clicked it off, let the silence settle in. Just the engine and the road, and the white lines coming at me in a steady rhythm. That's when I noticed the coyote on the shoulder, standing, watching the road. Not feeding, not moving, just watching, the way a person waits for a bus. I slowed instinctively, didn't want it to bolt in front of me. As I passed, it rotated its head and tracked my car with a smoothness that made my hands tighten on the wheel. Not the jerky reflex of a startled animal. Smooth, intentional, aware. I told myself it was nothing. 2 miles later, there was a coyote on the opposite shoulder. Same size, same posture, head already angled toward me as I approached, like it had been waiting and watching long before my headlights found it. A cold sweat broke across the back of my neck. I told myself, different animal, coincidence, keep driving. 3 miles after that, it was in the middle of the road. I hit the brakes hard and skidded to a stop 15 feet away. My headlights fell directly onto it, and the longer I sat there staring, the more my mind started rejecting what it was seeing. Too large, much too large for any coyote. Its front legs bent wrong, not broken, not injured, structurally wrong. Angled like arms pressed into service as legs, like a thing that understood the shape of a 4-legged animal, but was working from memory rather than experience. It raised its head slowly. The face was long. Matted gray fur stretched over something underneath that pushed at wrong angles. But the eyes were forward-facing, set close together, the eyes of a predator. And in the full wash of my headlights, they didn't reflect. No yellow, no green, just 2 dark points that absorbed the light and gave nothing back. It opened its mouth. What came out was a man's voice, clear and calm and completely human, as if someone had simply leaned down and spoken into a radio. You picked the wrong night. I don't remember making the decision to drive. My foot just moved. I went around it, I still don't know how, and I pushed that car to 90 miles an hour, and I did not lift my foot for 40 minutes. I didn't stop for gas, didn't stop for anything. I drove until the lights of a truck stop appeared on the horizon, and I pulled in with shaking hands and sat in my car for a full 5 minutes before I could make myself go inside. I told the woman behind the counter what happened. I expected disbelief, a polite smile, maybe a referral to the nearest sleep clinic. She didn't blink. "You're the 3rd one this month," she said quietly. She slid a coffee across the counter and let the silence sit for a moment. Then, "Don't ever stop on that stretch. No matter what it does, no matter what it says, you keep driving." I asked her,
my voice barely holding together what it was. She looked at me for a long time, like she was weighing how much truth a stranger at 2 a.m. could actually carry. "Something old," she finally said. "Something that was here long before they poured that road. And it doesn't like being driven through. I've taken a different route every time since. I will for the rest of my life."